Even when Tim played 99, 2000, the one defensive end was strictly a pass rusher, and the other guy was a run blocker. So at right tackle, it was a run blocker in front of him, or a run stopper, excuse me. Now every team has pass rushers on the outside. It's like a speed race now on the outside. It's amazing how the game has changed.
Javon Curse, that's the guy I always think of.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, really, that's where things...
It changed because they just put a big athlete out there and they said, we're coming after your quarterback every play.
But didn't you think when they drafted Cameron Wimbley, he was going to be the same guy? You were hoping for that, weren't you?
I was.
I thought the same thing.
And then you got to have two of them.
All right, let's get a little perspective from the Pittsburgh point of view. We go to Steelers Gab, and of course, Matt Lodi is our man from Steelers Gab.
Lodi.
All right, you're going to the playoffs. Congratulations.
Get a T-shirt.
Yeah, I gotta go spend $50 now on a T-shirt, because the team made it to the playoffs, But,
I have some AFC Central Browns shirts if you want.
Hey, they were solid.
Do
you?
Yeah, I
have a couple of those.
They don't fit, but I'd be happy to give them to you. Not a lot of things fit anymore. That's what happens when you have kids.
All right, they beat Kansas City, and they did it relatively quietly, which is un-Steeler-like this season.
Well, I mean, they took care of business. Certainly yesterday they only scored 20 points, but, the red zone, Kansas City's red zone defense was one of the best in the NFL, and the Steelers were still able to score 2 touchdowns and kick 2 field goals. I think the story of yesterday, guys, though, was the Steelers' defense. I thought they played their best game of the season. Jamar Charles only had, 30 yards on the ground, and he had 50 yards receiving, but a lot of that were the check down passes that you talked about a moment ago that Alex Smith likes to throw. I thought that this was a pretty complete game, and from the Steelers' point of view, this team is playing pretty good football right now, and that's certainly what you want. I told you guys last week I felt like if they won that game against Atlanta, they were going to win the division, and certainly it lines up now with the game against Cincinnati. They could win the division, and of course, as I also said last week, doesn't surprise me at all that game has been flexed to Sunday night, so it'll come down to Sunday night for the division title and a chance to host a playoff game, which will be in the first round against a team like San Diego, maybe Baltimore, maybe Houston, depending on who gets that 6th seed or 5th seed in the wild card.
I loved watching Roethlisberger after the game yesterday. Every post-game interview is exactly the same
thing.
It doesn't matter who the reporter is. We're just taking it one game at a time. We'll see. We'll get to the playoffs. We're okay. Well, that's all right, but that's not what we're worried about. We're worried about next week. How you feeling? I feel good.
Yeah.
Every time.
Didn't he go
every Roethlisberger?
You're right. They're all the same.
He had that one famous interview. I think it was Andrea Kramer was asking him about an injury and kept saying to him, Ben, did you feel all right when he came back in? He said, hey, I just got to give my offensive line a lot of credit. I remember the wide receivers in this game. They were great. All right, so let me ask you this another question, Ben. Ben, are you hurt? Do you feel good? He goes, well, like I said before, it's about offensive line. I don't know. I watch him, and
as a reporter, it drives you crazy, though.
But it's funny. At that point, it's funny when he gives you that answer. So, I'm just curious, your view of the Browns and where they are, and is this same old Browns when you're looking at it from the Steeler point of view?
Well, we go back, and I was doing a little research last night. Certainly that game, October 12th, we talked about it a lot. That was kind of the Browns' Super Bowl. They beat the Steelers by 21 points, and I said it even the next day here on the show. To me, that was just another game for the Steelers. They didn't play very well. At that point, the Steelers fell to 3-3. But to the Steelers, that was just another game. To the Browns, they put a lot more emphasis on that game. And even at 6-3, or after the Cincinnati game, I thought, there's still a lot of work to be done. And listen, the Browns are a young football team. They still obviously have to get this quarterback situation decided. To me, that's the first and foremost. And, guys, I think you'll agree, no matter where you look at it, until they get the quarterback situation decided upon, I don't know where this organization's going to go. And, they've lost 5 of 6. They easily could have lost 6 in a row if they don't rally in Atlanta. Now all the situation or the question marks are going to come up about Johnny's durability, which is a big thing that, he had to answer going into this season. To me, this is a dangerous situation for the Browns because they could be right back to square one if they don't get the situation with the quarterback decided upon pretty quickly. And you know what? If they go into next year, hand the ball to Johnny, and come week 2 or 3, he's out already with a hamstring injury or another type of injury, where do you go from there? So there's a lot of question marks about the Browns. And, I hate to say same old Browns because I think they've made some strides. But on the other hand, when you are 6-3 and now you're looking at a 7-9 season, I think it's a major disappointment.
All right, Matt, thank you very much. Good luck. We'll talk to you next week and enjoy your playoff run here.
You guys will be the champions. You'll win that Sunday. Dalton plays terrible at night.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that you're right, Andre. I'll probably be looking to buy a T-shirt next week. Thanks, guys.
Good luck,
Hey, Merry
buddy.
Christmas,
Hey, Merry
to you guys
Christmas
too.
to you.
Merry Christmas. Yeah, speaking of Merry Christmas, let's go to Craig Lindell from Waiting for Next Year. Hi, Craig. Oh, look at that.
Look at that
The
office
new
coming together.
DAWGS. Wow. Still impressed.
Good morning, guys. How's it going?
Good morning. Now,
morning.
are you in the basement? I'm looking at the vent there. So is this an office in the basement?
It's not only a basement, it's a basement that I own. It's not my mom's.
Oh, good for you. So what are you going to, you own this, so that means you're not going to be on Twitter all day, going off on people on the radio all day.
So you got a blog that you write, right? You put people down for that basement, right?
Oh, absolutely. If I don't have blog muscles from here, where do I have blog muscles?
That's a great point.
It's a great point. Everybody wants to talk about the quarterback. I want to talk about other positions, but just the overall.
No, I want to hear about the quarterback.
Yeah, but no. All right, I can give.
Here's why I want to talk about the quarterback. I'll say the same thing because the team looked different with Hoyer than they did with Manziel.
And I think we all
yesterday.
agree with that. And do you have a problem with the play that he got hurt on? Manziel, that is.
Do I have a problem with it? I don't know. It looked very strange to me, but I don't want to ever be in the business of questioning a guy's injuries. I guess my real point here with the quarterback is that, and this is a little phrase that I've been thinking about. We're always looking for the answer, but I think we're asking the wrong question. We've spent all this time chasing a quarterback and looking for this certain quarterback that, the Browns probably would have been better off, and I know this sounds crazy now, but they would have been better off if they'd never bothered looking for Whedon and just committed to Colt McCoy for a few more years. They would have been better off if they, I'm kind of like, give me the C+, B- quarterback and have consistency of scheme for a little bit. I think we've spent too much time trying to force the quarterback issue, and chasing is a bad look. And you end up with guys like Whedon and just all kinds of bad experiments. And so leave Johnny on the bench, bring Hoyer back, and try and win some games, because you've seen a vast difference between how this team plays when they think the coach is going to win or going to try and win versus when they turn the page and see what they've got.
Craig, I think you're right about asking the wrong question. I think the question is the coach before the quarterback. And, look, I think we can all settle on Mike Pettin. I think everybody feels somewhat comfortable about him. I mean, look, he's got a staff. He's got an offensive coordinator that I don't even think he met before the beginning of the season.
I'm not a fan of it, but he's stuck with him.
Okay, so I think there's a sense of loyalty, there's a sense of trust, and there's a sense of wanting to build something. From a defensive point of view, yes, they've been bad against the run, but they've also had injury problems. And as much as we want to, keep churning through the quarterbacks, keep churning through that, I think you got to stand put on a coach.
Absolutely.
And if you believe there's any level of competency, you have to factor in a rookie year for him. Just stick with it.
I'm with you.
I mean, and I think that brings a sense of calm to everything. Guys kind of can know their place and get the job done. Do your job. That's all we've ever asked for. And I don't think anyone's ever had a chance to do their job.
Right.
And I think if you got Jimmy Haslam in a quiet moment, where he was totally off the record and he never had to stand by it, I think he would say that he regrets unloading Chud after 1 year. The whole idea that of what they went through last year was a whole learning experience, I think, for Jimmy Haslam. And I think he probably learned a lot in terms of committing to that coach and simplifying the organizational structure and all that good stuff. But I think Mike Pettin has shown enough. I don't want to hear anything about his job being in jeopardy. Not even for Harbaugh, as our good friend Joe Lull was talking about this week. I don't care. I just don't care. The opportunity cost of switching is sometimes just totally not worth it. We've seen it in quarterbacks and we've seen it in coaches, and I don't want to see it again.
Well, there's the story out there that Harbaugh was on the phone with the Browns, and that and Mike Pettin was in the room on the other side.
But
and they were trying to make that decision. And Harbaugh, when it all was said and done, they couldn't settle on a draft pick.
Right. Well, we can go back to '99 and we can talk about how Brian Billick was on a plane. And that's how sometimes information isn't good for reporters, because that's how deals are made, right?
Right.
I mean, we almost lost Jarrett Wright for Pedro Martinez and Bartolo. We can go through. That's what happened. And I guess I'm not putting down Joe Lull or anybody else, and I can talk to Joe. My point is, a lot of things come close to happening that don't happen in sports, right? If we really knew the truth about a lot of stuff, we'd be blown away how close this guy was almost a coach or this guy was almost your quarterback. Let me ask you this, Craig. You guys do great lists and things like that. And I know one of your Sportsmen of the Year last week was Joe Thomas. Biggest disappointment for the Browns: Terrence West, Gilbert, Johnny Manziel. Who on that? Those three guys on that list. Who jumps out to you that scares you?
As the biggest disappointment?
Yeah, for a rookie.
I would say in this case, Justin Gilbert. I was fully content leaving Johnny Manziel on the bench for at least a year. I keep reminding myself he's supposed to be a junior in college. And I haven't given up on Justin Gilbert. I don't want to trash the guy, but it's another Barkevius Mingo-ish pick now, where a guy who steps in on the defense, and I expected to contribute a whole lot early, and has struggled a lot more than I expected, especially in the face of seeing, last year was Armani Bryant, and this year it was K'Wan Williams. It's a little bit troublesome that the Browns are picking guys that high, and they're not stepping right in and being starters or outplaying undrafted guys who are chasing them in training camp.
Right.
All right, Craig, quickly, what's going on waiting for next year?
Well, the big news is a media announcement. We're going to be on with Les Levine tomorrow on his TV show on Tuesday, which will be playing all throughout the holidays. So it'll be myself and TD and Scott, all from Waiting for Next Year. So tune in we'll be on cable.
Nice.
Outstanding. Let us know if you need us to Skype in for you.
Yeah.
We owe you.
Yeah, we can Skype for you.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Have a Merry Christmas.
I'm doing a podcast with you in 2015. I didn't even think about it. I'm just saying it off the top of my head. I'm coming.
Yes, sir, for sure.
With no rules on the podcast.
Yeah.
We swear on that, too. Thanks, Craig. We'll talk to you soon. We appreciate it.
All right, guys, thanks.
All right, we'll
Take
talk
care,
to you soon.
Craig.
All right, we're going to set things up for our Grade the Team segment with Kenny Rhoda and Tim Couch. That's coming up in about 2
the
seconds.
road man and the Fs.
Let's go to the phone lines, 216-431-3820. We'll talk to Ed real quick here. Hi, Ed. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Good. What's the good word, my friend?
The good word? we need the word.
Say that again. I'm sorry. We just broke up a little.
I said we need a good word.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, we do. We need a good word. That's a good point. All right, what are your thoughts on the game from yesterday?
Well, my thought of the game is that the Browns, year after year, they just keep losing. To me, they need to change the name. When
They need to
Cleveland
change the name, okay?
all the bosses, and they got rid of that Browns name, they won a Super Bowl. That's why I didn't want to take the name and all this and make like the city won something when they moved out.
All right, hey, your phone line's breaking up a little bit. Ed, just tell me what you want this team to be called.
The Cleveland Dogs.
Just the Dogs.
Mean-looking dog on the helmet.
All right, the Dogs.
I could do something, but everything else, though, why not try it, What's the harm in it?
We hear you. Happy
Thank you,
holidays
Ed.
to you,
Merry
Ed.
Christmas, man. Thank you very much. Look, let me just...
See, that's where we're
let
at.
me bring in an
But
analogy.
That's where
on
we're
that.
at as a city, though, man.
Let me bring this up. Okay? If you have a bad present
Yeah.
and you wrap it in beautiful wrapping paper, is it still a bad present?
Still a bad present, Mr. Baskin.
It doesn't matter what the team name is.
But here's the
come
deal.
on.
But no, I'm gonna give Ed some love. That's where this team has taken its fans with all the losing, that we worry about everything but the game. We worry about
It's drama. It's been drama since 99.
You were laughing at me last night because I'm bringing up Johnny Manziel's visors.
Yeah.
I'm a part of it. Like, I'm watching him in pregame going, the hell's he got a dark visor on for? Why did he change the visor? Look at the thing. You think in New England?
But listen, yeah, and then here's the thing. In the real world, where teams win, those are like 30-second conversations.
Right.
They're like, hey, did you see a new visor on? He changed visors.
Right, it's
and
pretty
then he had a
cool.
good game.
Yeah. Then on third down, he completed a pass.
Yeah.
I know.
Now, we spend a half hour talking about the visor.
Right. And who changed it? Why did he change it? I got to ask the road man and Tim if they've pulled hamstrings before. Because if you've pulled a hamstring,
we'll find out if they're kosher or
I've pulled
not.
a hamstring. If they're kosher.
Here's the thing, though, about the pulled hamstring. A normal quarterback,
Thanks, Scott.
it wouldn't affect them as much
We
as
don't
it
know
does
that.
Manziel.
We don't know that for a fact.
Well,
Go ahead, Eric, the
go ahead,
referee.
I'm sorry.
No, just saying, like, a normal hamstring injury, probably Peyton Manning could play with a hamstring pull.
Hamstrings are tough, but my point is if you pull a hamstring, you're not running to the sideline like he ran to the sideline. I've pulled a hamstring before. You're not. Now, he may have had what did he say, a cramp? Didn't he say cramp yesterday?
Said it
He was
well.
cramping.
He said he was cramping.
cramping after that Gordon throw.
God, there's something I want to say so bad. I'll just.
What are you gonna say? Say it. No, go ahead, say it.
I guess I can say it here.
I know where you're going.
Only LR, MR guys cramp up in big moments. Anyway.